Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. You know, there's always need for more African-American organ donors. The CEO of LifeBank, Gordon Bowen, is here to explain why the need is so much greater in the African-American community. He'll talk about the registration process. Later on, Sue Johnson of Wake Up and Live's Actors Studio and playwright Peter Lawson Jones will tell us about a night of play acts and dinner and theater benefit. And on the broadcast after that, we'll hear from the CEO of Diabetes Partnership of Cleveland, Tina Milano, and diabetes educator Diane Rhodes. They'll talk about the annual Swim for Diabetes event. Good morning, I'm Leon Bibb. This is Kaleidoscope. And so we begin with Gordon Bowen, CEO of LifeBank. Good to have you on the broadcast again, Gordon.
Thank you, Leon. Thank you for having us back.
Oh, it's just wonderful having you here. Refresh our memory, not that I need it, but some of the public may want to know, what's the mission of LifeBank?
Really, it's to promote organ, eye, and tissue donation here in Northeast Ohio.
Organ and tissue donation.
Yep.
It's vital, isn't it?
It's vital. There's a huge need for all the people that are currently waiting. And there's about probably 3,600 people in Ohio and about 1,800 in Northeast Ohio currently waiting for an organ transplant.
Yeah. What kind of organs are we talking about that can be transplanted?
Heart, liver, kidney, pancreas, lungs, etc.
Just about everything we've got.
As well as corneas, bones, skin for burn victims, etc.
And so we need more of that.
Need more of that.
And certainly in the African-American community, we need that.
Exactly. You know, 18 people die every day waiting for an organ transplant in the United States. That's about one person every other day in Ohio.
Why does race play a part in all of this?
Well, I think, just in Northeast Ohio, there's 1,800 people waiting. Of that, 600 of those are African-American. And in terms of kidney transplants, there's 600 kidney recipients waiting here in Northeast Ohio. 300 of those are African-American.
Are matches easier inside one's ethnic background, racial background?
Exactly. I think the success of kidney transplantation is, is tissue typing, it's blood type. So, an African-American donor and African-American recipient usually have a better outcome if you can match those up.
What are some of the common myths around organ donation and tissue donation that you have to deal with, the myths around there?
The biggest misconception is people feel like they will not save my lives if I'm a registered organ donor. So if a patient comes into the emergency room and they see that they're designated as a donor, they feel that the surgeons or physicians won't save their life. When in all actuality, they're there to save your life, and we're not even called until that patient has been pronounced dead. Yeah.
Now you're wearing a donation life button, and so am I on my lapel. Maybe we can get a shot of yours or mine. And I'm wearing a bracelet that says.
You look very good, by the way.
But and green is the color. Green is the color that we're talking about. That's the color you're trying to.
Exactly.
You're trying to the green of life. You see it right there. Right there, that's the not the African-American one, but that's the
donate life
for everybody. But we're really talking about African-Americans, especially today.
Exactly.
Yeah. We're all leaving this place as living beings. We're all leaving one day, whether we want to or not. We're leaving, and we can leave something behind that can help somebody else that's in need of a kidney or a lung or a heart or something.
Exactly, and it only takes a couple of seconds to sign up to be an organ, eye, and tissue donor and to be a hero. So when you do leave this earth, that you're able to help save the lives of other people.
Now, what about the driver's license? Now, is there a part on our driver's license where we can donate that?
There is a part on the driver's license. It's in the lower right-hand corner. It's a little hard on there, and again, the key is that to register, and most people register to BMV, probably 90% of the people register to BMV. However, you can also register through our website. We can send registration forms to you, or when you get your living will, you can sign up to be an organ donor at that time.
Maybe we can get a shot of mine, because I'm a registered, you can get there now, and camera 3, maybe they can zoom in on that a little bit, but it's a little heart right down at the bottom, there. Now, no need looking for my birth date. You won't find that on there. My fingers are covering all of that, everything else. But it's a little heart. That means when I'm gone, take what you need, because somebody else may need it.
Exactly.
What should we keep in mind as we deal with this issue of LifeBank? What do you want people to keep foremost in mind?
I just think that people consider it a way to give back and to be able to help people that are currently waiting for that life-saving organ transplant. It's so simple to be able to sign up. There's so many things we do in life every day that takes a lot of time. This takes very little time at all.
Let's put a... Go ahead.
No, it's just a great opportunity to give back to the community.
I want to put that telephone number on the screen and talk a little bit about it, that you can make a phone call to 752-LIFE. 216-752-LIFE. And if you're outside the 216 area code, you can dial, make a toll-free number to 888-558-LIFE. You see that on the bottom of the screen. Or you can go to the website, which is Life Bank, and bank is spelled with a C, LIFEBANC.org. You try to educate the community about organ and tissue donations all the time.
Exactly.
What's been the response?
Actually, quite well. You know, we do a lot with workplace partners. We do a lot in the churches and the schools to get the word out there. We're hosting a big event coming up later on in April on the 26th, the Legacy of Life Luncheon. We bring a lot of people together, bring in speakers to promote and thank people for what they've done to promote organ, eye, and tissue donation.
We've seen your spots on the air where people are sitting in the big green chair.
Big green chair.
Green is the color. So I've got a green pen today, and we're working with green. The color of life. Is that what it symbolizes?
Green is a symbol of life. Exactly.
And is there an age limit on donations for those who donate?
No, there is no age limit. Again, what we like to do is, you know, every time someone dies, they have to call that death into us, and we screen at that time to see if people are candidates for organ, eye, and tissue donation. So there is no rule-out criteria. We like, we don't want people to remove themselves from the registry because they think they're too old, which is another misconception. We want to be able to make that decision and help that family at that time.
There are people walking around right now who are walking around alive and well because somebody made an organ donation when they passed away, or
many
before they
people
passed away.
Many people.
You need to do it before you pass away.
Exactly.
It's hard to do it after you pass away.
It makes it so much simpler with the family at a terrible time of their life, knowing that that was the wishes of their loved one.
Gordon Bowen is CEO of Life Bank. Thank you so much, Gordon.
Thank you, Leon.
You make us feel so much better, and you're really doing the right thing because you are about life.
Exactly.
That's
Thank you.
the name Life Bank. Thank you, Gordon. Gordon Bowen, CEO. And once again, the phone number is 752-LIFE. I'm going to take a break right now. We'll be right back. We're going to talk about play acts with Sue Johnson and Peter Lawson Jones. Back in a moment. You're in touch with Kaleidoscope. Always glad to have you with us on Kaleidoscope, too, I might add. The Wake Up and Live's Actor Studio is hosting a dinner theater benefit to help the organization get a permanent home, and its founder, Sue Johnson, and playwright and good friend Peter Lawson Jones are both here to tell us more about that. Good to see you.
Well, good seeing you again, Leon.
Sue
Always
Johnson,
a pleasure.
Sue Johnson and Peter Lawson Jones. Yeah. Tell me about what's the mission of Wake Up and Live's Actors Studio?
Well, to try to be succinct about it, then that's an oxymoron for me, but
but you'll try.
But I'll try. Yes, we are a non-traditional performing arts, entertainment, and education organization, and what we try to do is showcase and celebrate the diversity of the performing arts and artists primarily in Northeast Ohio, and provide alternative low-cost education and training for those who want to be in the arts and can't afford, going to college or whatever. So that's what we do with our mission. We try to keep the arts here in Cleveland as much as possible and help keep them alive. We're another organization who does that.
Sue Johnson and I have worked several times in many plays, various plays together, and it's always good to be on the same stage with you, whether we're performing or doing a little bit of television.
Just hanging out together.
You brought with you Peter Lawson Jones, the former county commissioner, well-known political figure in Cleveland, but now he's left politics and is doing acting. Tell me your involvement in all of this, Peter.
Well, let me say this is always a pleasure, just as you've said, to work with Sue. She has provided valuable counsel to me as I've developed my acting career and advanced my acting career, and so it's with great pride that I'm participating in Wake Up and Live for the Arts event on the 13th. And this is actually, I think, the second time that scenes from a play that I've written are being performed by Sue's unit. So I'm very excited about this.
We should say that along with Sue, Peter is very, very talented people here.
Yes.
Playwright over there, actor, done some network television, been in some national movies, some feature movies. And
I've done okay. I'm all right.
He's done more.
In less than 2 years since he has become one of us, in less than 2 years, he's kind of skyrocketing with his credentials.
I know you're on here to plug your big event coming on. And
Oh, yes.
So plug it and tell me all about this event that's coming up on April the 13th.
Well, that's a night of play acts, and here again, what we are doing is showcasing a variety of our playwrights in residence, and we also are showcasing entertainers. It's kind of like a variety show. This is the first time we're doing it this way, where we will have skits, sketches, comedy routines, and in the diversity side of it, Peter's scene from Bloodless Jungle represents our dramatic piece. But we will have, Ed Ridley Jr. and his band will be our house band. We have several vocalists, and we do have a belly dancer, which has caused quite a bit of intrigue. And all this is being held at the Greenmont Party Center on Saturday, April 13th. We serve cocktails at 6:30 p.m. Dinner starts about 7:15 p.m. and it should be a fun night.
And then the show begins.
Yes.
Let's get Greenmont Party Center is at 800 South Green Road. That's at the corner of Green Road, South Green Road, and Monticello in what community is that?
At South Euclid.
At South Euclid.
And there's a big old free parking lot. You don't have to pay parking.
So it's going to be a wonderful event. We're going to talk about tickets in just a moment. Your involvement, brother. Now tell me a little bit about your involvement, Peter Lawson Jones.
Well, as Sue stated, for this particular event, a scene that I wrote from a play that I'm working on, The Bloodless Jungle, will be on display. It's a two-character scene, very dramatic piece. The play itself is about a gentleman who's running for Congress. Fancy that.
Fancy that.
Who'd have thunk
Who'd
it?
have thought that?
Who'd have
Yeah.
thunk that? Who's running for Congress, who is at the time in the lead position, is running ahead in the polls, and then a friend of his from his childhood gets arrested, and he has to choose between supporting his friend or jettisoning his friend and focusing on winning the election.
And we will say how it all unfolds.
You won't know that for another year and a half or so before the full play is performed.
Well, good for you, Peter.
Well, that's what we like to do, is showcase a work in development as well, work in progress. And he's been fine-tuning and tweaking his play about Sydney and Ethan, and it really shows also the depths of their relationship.
I would add that I would be involved in this, but I've got so much going on. That same evening, we had a bunch of things going on in Cleveland.
We don't talk about the Deltas, of which I am one. We don't talk about Jack and Jill.
All that. We've got a lot of things going, and I work
So there's no reason to sit at home on April 13th. But you certainly want to make part of your evening on the 13th, spending some time with the performers and the playwrights from Wake Up and Live for the Arts at Greenmont Party Center.
Saturday, April 13th at Greenmont Party Center at South Green Road and Monticello in the community of South Euclid. Starts at 6:30, and tickets are available?
$45 each, and also a little special deal, $80 for two.
And if you can make a phone call right there at 568-8608,
561.
561. We've got it right on the screen. Yes, we do. 561-8608. You can get more information and buy your tickets as well.
Of course you can.
Always good to have you on the broadcast.
And we're so honored that you had us back.
Oh, it's always
and that
good to
Peter
have you
could
back.
join us so he could talk about
and
his
I'm going to be
piece.
back with you. I'm going to be on stage with you at some point downrange.
Let us hope it's soon.
Let's hope. And Peter and I are going to be doing something later on in the year. We're going to be
around Father's Day.
Around Father's Day,
we're going to be doing a soldier's play, Project One Act. You'll want to come see that.
Peter and I are both involved in that, so we're going to be.
Well, we have to help you showcase that, promote that too.
I would hope so.
But in the meantime, as I grab my broadcast back, let me close out here.
We got this. We got this.
Yeah, we can handle it.
I'm going to take a break. We'll be back in just a moment. We're going to be talking about the diabetes fundraiser. But first, these words. Welcome back to more of Kaleidoscope today. The annual Swim for Diabetes event takes place in late April. The president and CEO of Diabetes Partnership of Cleveland, Tina Milano, is here, along with certified diabetes educator Diane Rhodes. They'll tell you more about the event. They're also going to share information about the organization's programs to help those with diabetes. Tina Milano sitting on the right, and Diane Rhodes, registered nurse, sitting on the left. Good to have you with us.
Thank you for having us today.
Tell me, CEO Milano of the Diabetes Partnership of Cleveland, what is the mission of your organization?
Well, the mission of the Diabetes Partnership is really, it's very simple. It's to help people with diabetes live well with the disease, learn how to live well, live longer, and manage their disease.
We've seen an explosion of diabetes in the last 30 years or so, haven't we?
It's an epidemic. It is a huge epidemic. Some people think it's the epidemic of the century.
Who's most likely to be affected, Diane Rhodes? You're a registered nurse. You see all of this. Who's most likely to be affected?
Well, there are several risk factors, and including family history, age. If you're over 45, you're at a much higher risk. Certain ethnic groups are at a higher risk,
Like
African Americans, Hispanic, Asian, and Native American. There's also, if you already have high blood pressure or high cholesterol, you're also at a higher risk to develop diabetes.
So we've got to get people to live healthier lifestyles, correct?
Absolutely.
That would help. What would you suggest? What kind of lifestyles will help us hold off diabetes if we can indeed hold it off?
And studies have shown that we can hold it off, or at least postpone it. The main thing is to get up and move. Physical activity is key, and people really underrate what that can do to stave off diabetes. And also a healthy diet. We're talking about the way that everybody should eat. So whole grains, higher fiber, heart healthy, low fat, things that we all should be doing.
And we can also help by giving money to the organization and raising funds for diabetes research, right? CEO
Absolutely.
Milano? Tell me about your big fundraiser coming up, the Swim for Diabetes event.
Well, the Swim for Diabetes event is actually the 28th swim, the 28th time we've done this. And just as you hear about some organizations doing a run for a certain, to support a certain disease, this is a swim. So we have people who are gathering at 36 pools in 7 counties in the greater Cleveland area, and they are asking their friends and co-workers to sponsor them by registering on our website.
And if people go to the website, they can find more information on how you can help sponsor. And what they do is they'll swim laps or so. If you give me $50, I'll do so many laps or whatever.
Whatever. They can say, I'll give you $10 to support you, or whatever they want.
Yeah. How can people go about doing that? By going to the website?
By just going to the website and looking it up. You'll get all the information that you need, and it's fun. And we're starting off on that Friday night with a big party out at Spire Institute out in Geneva, where we have gold medalist Diana Munz joining us, and we're going to have a root beer float and a float to watch a movie in the pool. So it'll be a lot of fun for that kickoff.
That'll be great. We've got 2 minutes remaining. We want to squeeze in much more information. This is vital to what we're talking about. I mean, you're going to have a lot of fun at your events, your Swim for Diabetes event, but this is vital to saving lives, isn't it, Diane?
Absolutely. Diabetes can have such devastating effects on people and their families. Diabetes is, the leading cause of blindness. It's the leading cause of kidney failure. It's the leading cause of non-traumatic lower leg amputations. It can really, it needs to be taken seriously.
The big Swim for Diabetes weekend is April the 26th through the 28th. Let's put that phone number on the screen. They can get more information, 591-0800 in the 216 area code, or you can go to diabetespartnership.org and get more information on everything we're talking about. And you said 37 swimming pools
37
throughout
pools.
Northeast Ohio are going to be participating in this. And we've got a minute remaining. Leave us with a final thought on everything that's vital right now.
Well, You know, people don't realize how difficult life can be with diabetes. And as Diane said, it's very serious. It's an epidemic. Some people still feel good, so they don't realize how difficult the situation is. So people need to learn about it once they're diagnosed, and learn how to moderate their lives so that they'll live well.
And as Diane would say in our final 15 seconds, you got to move it. You've got to exercise it, right?
Absolutely. You got to get up and get moving. Whatever it is that you'll like and continue to do, just make sure you get up off that couch and go.
And eat healthy.
And eat
and
healthy.
be aware of your family history. My dad had diabetes. He's gone now. Dad had it, so I'm well aware of what could happen. So I'm moving all the time in the gym.
Great.
Okay, all right.
Good.
Thank you for being on the broadcast.
Thank you for having us.
Tina
Thank
Milano,
you.
President and CEO of Diabetes Partnership of Cleveland. Diane Rhodes, registered nurse, certified diabetes educator with the Diabetes Partnership of Cleveland. 591-0800. You see at the bottom of the screen more information on everything we're talking about, or diabetespartnership.org. They are helping save lives as well. Thank you, ladies.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Taking a break. I'll be right back. Marcia Maccabee of the Urban League after this. We've received your cards and letters saying we want more of Marcia Maccabee. So here's Marcia of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland.
Thank you, Leon. It's good to be here. Just want to comment a little bit this morning on this sequestration issue that's going on with our federal government. In the process, the sequestration is looking at sort of an across-the-board budget cut in many, many areas that affect our community. These are youth programs, these are programs for the elderly, these are job training programs, after-school programs. So as a community, one of the things that we want to make sure happens is that we are sending cards and letters to our legislators, encouraging you, audience, we want you to write and call and let people know in our Congress that they need to really plead the case for our communities, because we have already given our share of the budget cuts in, you know, the low-income communities, and it needs to be spread across the board. So
we need to get the American government,
yes,
solving the problems of the people.
exactly.
Both sides of the aisle, the Democrat and the
Absolutely.
Republican.
Absolutely.
And the independent too, who's there.
Right, and everyone at all income levels and all statuses should be sharing in this debt reduction, not just on the backs of a few people.
So you're telling people, write your Congress members and write your
Yeah.
write your senators and write your legislators and
Absolutely.
everybody who has something to say about it.
Yes, right, call, all that.
Yeah.
Yes.
You're doing okay at the Urban League?
Doing well.
I'm glad to hear that. We've got 30 seconds
well.
remaining. We'll let you ask about that. Things are going well. You've been there for how long as
Things are
CEO
going-
now?
Actually, since 2011,
Oh.
as in the permanent position, and you know, before that is interim. But 2013 is a very exciting year. We're doing some things that we're going to be coming out and announcing. A lot of growth is going to be occurring this year, so it's a very exciting year for us.
Glad to hear that.
Thank you.
My good friend Marcia Maccabee, CEO and President of the Urban League of Greater Cleveland.
Thank you, Leon.
That's going to do it for us. We appreciate it. So long.
Kaleidoscope, a weekly public affairs program brought to you in partnership with the Urban League of Greater Cleveland, Kaleidoscope Magazine, and News Channel 5.